Hey guys, welcome back to LastWordOnSports.com. Very interesting topic for you this week. Who is better, Peyton Manning or Tom Brady? Despite the obvious, you have some people in the Brady camp and some people in the Peyton Manning camp. We at LastWordOnSports.com believe we have an answer. And what we did to find the answer, we looked inside the numbers because numbers don't lie. So let's get down right to it. But before I start, let me just say that this article wasn't researched by me. It was done by our NFL correspondent. His name's Anto Dowsett. If you can follow him at LastWordAnto, that would be fantastic. So let's get down right to it. Through all the commotion of free agency and Peyton Manning being signed by Denver, we decided to take a look back at his career and see all the things that Peyton has accomplished. And to no surprise, one of his greatest accomplishments had some controversy surrounding it. Although 3 years later, Tom Brady would go on to break Peyton Manning's touchdown record by one, some people say that Peyton's season was more meaningful and that his 49 touchdowns were worth more than Brady's 50. So we decided to take a look into it, and the results were kind of surprising. When researching, we began to notice something quite interesting about these touchdowns. Although obviously all touchdowns count for 6 points, some of them we believe have more value than others. For instance, a touchdown scored in the fourth quarter would be more meaningful than one scored in, say, the first or second quarter. Not only does that touchdown scored late increase the lead, it also keeps the opposing offense off the field and makes it harder for them to score, as obviously they don't have as much time with the ball. So let's compare these cases with touchdowns scored during the second quarter or touchdowns when your team is winning by an absurd amount, and you can see that those touchdowns aren't nearly as valuable. So we realized through calculations that if context of the touchdown were taken into account, many people would probably be thinking differently about whose record-breaking season was more incredible, Peyton Manning's or Tom Brady's. So let's start off slow with some obvious comparisons. If I told you that player A was able to complete 6.86 passes per touchdown, while player B needed 7.96 completions, you would think that player A was more efficient, right? Also, if player A threw for 303.8 yards per game, while player B threw for 300.4, you would once again consider player A as the one with the better stats. In this case, player A is Peyton Manning. Moving forward, if I were to tell you that player A had thrown for 3.13 touchdowns per game and player B had thrown for 3.27, you would say that player B was better this time. Furthermore, if we mentioned that player A on average threw for a touchdown when his team was winning by 22.9 points, whereas player B threw for a touchdown late in the game when his team was only winning by 7.8. You would say that player B's touchdowns were more valuable since the games were of a closer score and the team wasn't running it up. In this case, player B was Peyton Manning. Lastly, if I said player A threw for 23 touchdowns when his team was already winning and 26 when they were losing, or if it was a tie game, and player B threw for 33 of his touchdowns when his team was already winning, but only 17 when they were losing or tied, you would say that player A's touchdowns came at a better time than player B's. Additionally, if I said that 9 of player A's losing or tie game touchdowns came in the third or fourth quarter, you would say that it is better that player B only scoring 6 of these touchdowns. Nevertheless, in this case, once again, player A is Peyton Manning. So throughout these 3 examples, one can see that the more efficient player and the one with the more valuable touchdowns during their record-breaking seasons is Peyton Manning. In other words, we can now contextually assume that Peyton's season was better than Tom's season, even if Tom had scored 1 more touchdown. With proof, Peyton Manning had a better record-breaking season than Tom Brady. We welcome any comments. If you disagree, agree, or somewhere in between, please head over to LastWordOnSports.com. Check out our NFL archives. You can find the article there. We've also posted it below in the information. So make sure you click on that, and please leave your comments. Thanks, guys. Have a good one.